Kumasi, Ghana's second largest city, a vibrant center of culture, commerce, and history. A city constantly on the move, bustling markets, growing communities, endless activities. But beneath the energy and vibrancy of this historic city lies a crisis quietly reaching breaking point. A ticking time bomb buried under mountains of waste. Many residents of Kumasi may never set foot here, yet almost every household in the city sends something here every single day. Behind the gate of the Oti landfill lies the final destination of waste generated by more than 3 million people. Now stretched beyond its limits, the landfill is now a choking monument in a city.
Oti sanitary landfill has more or less, I would say it's exhausted. It was designed for a 15-year period and we've gone past that. If it were football, we would say we are in injury time. The last cells are nearing their exhaustion. We estimate that by December, if nothing is done, we would have to shut the site down completely.
Mountains of waste continue to rise here daily as trucks, tricycles, and compactors arrive one after another, unloading refuse generated across Kumasi and nearby districts. Behind me is the Oti landfill, the final destination of waste generated across Kumasi and beyond. Every day, thousands of tons of refuse arrive here, but the site is now under severe pressure. Operationalized in 2004, the Oti landfill was originally intended to serve Kumasi for a limited period. More than 2 decades later, it remains the city's primary dumping site. Managers of the facility say the landfill now receives between 2,500 and 3,000 tons of waste daily, far beyond what it was originally designed to handle.
I think altogether it's about 13, minimum of 13 assemblies, municipalities that are dumping there. As we can all see, the place is full. Tipping is a problem, especially with the working of the informal sector tricycles, who happen to be possibly 80% of the waste coming into that landfill site.
As the city expands rapidly, waste generation continues to increase, but infrastructure and investment have struggled to keep pace.
The height is too high. We should have put laterite on it and close it. I think we raise it at the assembly level, but because of the situation between the kick-up and the government, we have no option than to use. Either than that, people will start dumping in our gutters, our streams, and other areas, which will be more disaster than what we are seeing now.
So just a few years ago, somewhere in 2020, this facility, the Kumasi Compost and Recycling Plant, was operationalized to transform waste management in Kumasi by converting tons of refuse into useful products. Today, it is operating far below capacity, largely due to unpaid service fees owed by government. As a result, waste that would have been processed here is now being diverted to the Oti landfill site, where growing heaps of refuse are raising serious environmental and public health concerns.
As we speak now, the level or the quantity of waste that is received on a daily basis is not as before. So between 500, 600, hitherto we were receiving and processing over 2,400 metric tons, even at times to the tune of about 3,000 metric tons on a daily basis. But due to some challenges that we are currently facing, we are unable to receive and process those quantum of waste. The debt government owes to the company is almost 4 years.
The consequences are visible everywhere. More waste arriving, longer queues, growing pressure. And behind the numbers lies a deeply human story. Every morning in Kumasi, before the city fully wakes up, another workforce begins its day. They wear no uniforms. They operate mostly in the shadows of the informal economy. Yet every single day, they help keep Kumasi clean. These are the city's waste collectors. Across communities in Kumasi, tricycle operators have become a critical part of the city's waste collection system.
Bola Juma Nankasa de a creative job said ama YouTube especially me ankasa metuwe. Nukrani ya me nim na me ne aduma bia ye. Ye ni namuni aso mu say ne aso we mu ne ama ye light. By the end of the day na ye be hu say Bola Juma ni say na e follow nipa ba ko mienu miensa no. Ye hu say said ye hu Juma definitely ye be make it be in life.
Now, these tricycle operators play a critical role in keeping Kumasi clean. They collect waste from homes and communities and bring it here. But what should be a quick drop-off often turns into hours of waiting. For collectors, time spent waiting means fewer trips, lower income, and mounting frustration.
But sorry, I know 4 Akwijuma. It less than 3 hours. I load the boiler. Ubetna daha from Anopa to say Adiabeche. Kiumkwa, it be to be see her ekopem echiro. Esana yahochire.
In the morning, when you also come to the landfill site to make sure that they should all offload their refuse. You don't know the particular time that you can go home. Sometimes you can be here 8 o'clock in the morning, but we leave here 12 in the midnight, all because of the queue. And that problem is the machine that we are using, using on the landfill site. The machine is so old, to be frank with you.
And when waste cannot be disposed of quickly, the effects are felt across the city. Refuse begins piling up in homes, markets, and neighborhoods.
I talked about the site having operational challenges, and that is why you find queues here. The issue is that there are 2 bulldozers operating here. The bulldozers have worked for years. They need to be replaced by now. The contractor operating the site, who owns this equipment, has not been paid for over 2 years. So you can't complain, ask him to replace the machines. But then if he is paid and the machines are replaced, we will not have such problems here.
But beyond the collection is another group fighting for survival. This landfill is more than just a dumping site. For the hundreds of people, it is a workplace, a marketplace, and a lifeline. But behind the opportunity it provides lies a harsh reality, one of risk, uncertainty, and survival. The work itself is physically demanding. Most collectors operate without adequate protective gear, exposing themselves daily to sharp objects, contaminated waste, and infection. Across this landfill, scavengers search through waste every day, searching for recyclable materials they can sell. Each item recovered here carries value, however small. For many, this is their only source of income.
Na mi botre, na mi wa circle kon. Na madam fu bi ka chem sa ha adwuma no, the trebo no kofi. Ana o de me ba na enkoyi. De o ma na mi ni mo bi wo ha na me kan ma ha wo kire ne se na eto me circle ankola mi. O de me ba ha one day na obisa am se metimi ana am so. Se me ya menye ska hwe me man kwa de metimi ayenti me ba me fan se getting to 4 years. No ana ma yetimi dia hwe me ba ko. Next year obewi SS edwuma we ya.
Raba na me pick raba na me pick. Ba ha no. Akra sa metimi obo ankwala no. Ndie. No ana se jame jan kakra bom kakra.
What many residents throw away becomes a source of livelihood for others. But survival here comes at a heavy cost. The environment is dangerous. Waste pickers work under intense heat, surrounded by sharp objects. Many do so with little or no protective gear. Health experts warn the long-term consequences could be severe.
These workers are exposed to a number of diseases, infectious diseases. If, let's say, he or she is supposed to wear the nose mask and is not worn, this person is going to inhale bioaerosols. So this is biological organisms that are suspended in the atmosphere, and you can inhale them. You can also inhale, you know that on the landfill sites, there are all forms of waste. There are fumes, there's smoke, there's dust. And you can inhale all these things, and when you inhale them, your airways are compromised. You are prone to airway injuries, the air spaces, your alveoli become affected, and you develop all sorts of respiratory diseases, infections, so asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, bronchitis. As part of these wastes, we have electronic waste, mercury that contain mercury, lead, cadmium. You also have plastics, and plastics contain carcinogens. So PVC plastics contain benzene and vinyl chloride. And these chemicals are carcinogenic. That means that they have the potential to cause cancers. So liver, bladder cancers have been attributed to or can be developed or acquired when you have a prolonged exposure to these sites.
Yet, despite the risk, many return every day because for them, the landfill is not a choice, it is survival.
Me yala minister mosque bia na makoto adura e bia mu ya me bowa na makoto adura no na se akofom kakra na fie kro 1 month aba na me yala pan so na fie achina no 1 month sande na ya kakra me san bai
or reflectors any PPE said more hand gloves any nose mask na times they are find it difficult say the missionary and so ya adwuma no Obakon way in hand gloves no we friends say nose mask no oka o say me homete because of heat na football number no iti we and also kan ho ayi so ayi training o mo say ya on be dey o be hu how to use the nose mask say ya affect your from health conditions.
The struggles of collectors and scavengers point to a deeper issue, a broken waste management system.
Most of these workers are informal workers. Can we look at formalizing the system so that they are either part of a waste management company so that these safety gears are provided?
If their works go on and is optimized and it becomes efficient, the net gain to the landfill and the waste management fraternity in general is high. So it is very important. If we want to talk about sustaining the work of the informal sector, then we're also talking about sustaining waste management and then the landfill in Kumasi. So one of the ways that we are doing is to ensure that one, whatever they are doing, they are giving training, they are being inculcated in different levels of the management, they are provided with the requisite skills.
When waste is not separated at the source, everything ends up here. Overloading the landfill is making recycling more difficult.
We are trying as much as possible to do source separation. We tried it in the Central Business District and people did not accept it. They kept mixing the waste until we got fed up. We decided to withdraw and re-strategize. We've started education. We've started with some schools. We want to appeal to the general public to accept this. When we do source separation, the organics will not be contaminated, and when we produce the compost from the organics, it will not be contaminated, and then it will be accepted by the farmers. The waste that we see as waste would have reduced if we remove all the organics from it. We already know that 40 to 50% of our waste is organic. And so if we remove that, the other 60% will be the inorganics, where we will be removing the plastics, the bottles, the textile, and then we'll be moving forward.
If this landfill shuts down, the entire waste chain collapses, from collectors to scavengers to households. The impact would be immediate and widespread.
In resolving our waste problems, if we can also deal with the youth employment problem, by recognizing the informal sector. As I said, we are working with 1,400 to 1,500 people on that site. If the place closes down, for example, I mean, we've got a situation where immediately we've got about 1,400 people minimum not having any work to do. And we're talking about very young men and women who will all of a sudden not have employment. I think we will understand its implication on society. So yes, I think we all have to put our hands together and try and find a solution, maybe an innovative way to try and handle this by handling waste and also creating employment for the youth.
The Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly says plans are underway to construct new landfill cells, but funding remains a challenge.
We are supposed to construct an additional new cell, about 2 or 3. We need about 6 million euros to have it done. We are engaging with my sector ministry on how best to have some amount of money out of the 6 million. Just so even if we can do one cell in the medium term, it can take us to about 2-3 years for us to manage the waste.
But experts say the long-term solution goes beyond creating new landfill space.
They are thinking about creating cells. I'm thinking that it shouldn't be the priority. The priority should be that they are looking, nowadays everywhere we are looking at the circular economy. We're preaching zero waste. If we not get to the zero waste, then let the circular economy be our target. It is an act where we don't send the waste to the waste, but we try to make economic value out of it. So that should be our priority. We have set up compost facilities. We are setting up recycling facilities. We are thinking about recovering some energy from the waste. We are thinking of turning the waste into liquid fuel and other things which are being done elsewhere. So all these priorities, the money that we have, we should invest in all this. And investing in this also create job for our people. But though the cell is also important, because by all means you have some final materials or material that you will not be able to recycle, come what may. But it shouldn't be our priority.
Hitherto, waste was being collected and disposed of. But as we speak now, the world over, we've evolved or moved from linear economy in terms of managing waste to a circular economy. So collection and disposal of waste is a thing of the past. When you collect waste, you would have to recycle it, you have to recover, reuse some of the useful materials in the waste composition before you even think of landfilling. So when you have waste generated, the last thing you think of is disposal or landfilling. You have to make sure the components of the waste, the fractions of the waste have been recovered in a manner and used in a manner that is not inimical to public health.
I think that one of our challenges is the fact that our landfill sites have mixed waste, and I've mentioned the impact of plastics, metals, etc. We should have a system to segregate waste from our homes, and then also provide some form of incentive so that when people have segregated their waste and have sent it back to say the manufacturer. So if it's my water and they've sent it back to the company that produces, they would get something back. And by doing that, we are going to reduce the amount of waste, plastics, papers that we generate.
We have teeming young men and women, able-bodied men and women, numbering close to 1,500. And they are playing very key role within the region that is going unnoticed. So we have to look at ways of inculcating their works. So first, we have programs ongoing, we have piloted, and it starts from household education and source separation to the collection with their trikes, to the landfills, and then recovery of recyclable materials from the waste that we put at the landfill.
As the day ends at Oti, the cycle continues. More trucks arrive, more waste is unloaded. Some is buried, some is recovered by waste pickers, and much of it remains. For collectors, it is a daily struggle to keep Kumasi clean. For waste pickers, it is a means of survival. But for Kumasi, it is a growing crisis that can no longer be ignored. So in Kumasi, waste is no longer just a sanitation issue. It has become deeply tied to livelihoods, survival, and public health. And as pressure continues to mount on the Oti landfill, the city faces a difficult balancing act of protecting lives and livelihood while preventing a full-blown sanitation crisis. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3, Kumasi.